Tadivira
tikade chineta kuti usifani paunofanira handishast kuti ikwanise kutenga vantu inoda kasimba okudai apa sarenda kasimba yedenza yeso
It's firing. Yeah, it's firing already.
I think we can start. Good morning to you all. I think we can start now. We apologize that we started late. I really apologize. But we wanted this meeting to be just 2 hours. Just 2 hours. But I'd like to welcome you, all the clients, customers of Dabuka Village. Those who are joining us physically and those who are joining us on Facebook Live. So also on Facebook Live as well. With different clients also coming from Ukot, coming from different parts of the world. They also want to join in. I was speaking to other clients who are in Seattle right now. It's 2 a.m. in Seattle, and they are joining us as well. So I would like to appreciate that. Whilst we are sorting out our issue, I would like to ask someone just to give us an opening prayer. Any volunteers? Just give us an opening prayer. Thank you.
Baba, tinokutendai nokuda kwezuva ranhasi, kudzwai murumbidzwe, imi musiki nomuchengeti. Tokutendai nokuda kwekuungana kuno, tokutendai nemapresentations aripo ose, tokutendai nefuture development dzose titungamirirei nemuzita muri Ramambo Jesu. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Zimba. Appreciate it. Just quick introductions. Okay, I'm Alan Manyonga. I'm Senior Executive at SIF. For this project, I'm joined in with Emma. Emma, stand up. We are partners in crime, so skills are not moving. It's between the two of us. Yes. We're supposed to have been joined by Dwayne, but unfortunately Dwayne I think is attending school. But there are three of us who are involved in this project. I really appreciate all the buyers that have bought. Maybe from my end, I'll start with project promoters, who are Mr. and Mrs. Mplanga. Just stand up. This is Mr. Mplanga. This is Mrs. Mplanga. So these are the owners of Dabuka Farm, and they are the ones that then applied for the conversion to residential standards. We really appreciate. Mplanga, I always envy you because you've created wealth which is generational. The Bible says you leave wealth to your children's children. I think this is what we've done. She's a proud grandparent of 5 grandchildren?
Yes.
5. Yeah, good. Well done. So I will just quick introduction. So we've got Engineer Chilum, Engineer Pedro Chilum. So Engineer Chilum is wearing 2 hats. I think we explained himself. He is the project manager for this project, right? He is in charge of everything, all reports to him, right? Engineer Chilum is also wearing the 2nd hat, which is in charge of all the roads and water storage maintenance. What's on? There's also roads on. We shall be joined by Engineer Chitakuye. She's apologized. Then we're also joined in with Mr. Tendea Mzadzi. Mr. Tendea Mzadzi is the managing director from Dabuka. So these are also the project promoters, and also these are the accountants for the projects, right? I always go to him to say I need a big gate entrance. Then he says, "No, Alex, it's fine, it can be done. I'll talk to Engineer Jerome, but on one condition, that we're increasing the price to $200 per square meter." So then I stop. Yes. Then we've got Mr. Mtasa, Nikita Mtasa, Mr. Stem. Mr. Mtasa is our project lawyers and also the conveyancers for the project. So once you get the compliance certificate, you are going to get emails or letters from his office to attend to your transfers. Thank you for joining us. We also the partners that we. Yeah? Okay, that's right. Then we've got Mrs. Matungama, sorry.
Yes.
She's our managing director at SIF. She's also SIF Zimbabwe licensee. So she's the one that we report to. She's also in charge of this project. Please. I'll give you a short time to speak, but after our quick introduction. Maybe I'll start from this end. I'll need just to introduce yourself. I know all of you are going to all, but just quick introductions. You are the prize. We're able to remember the same number, that would be great.
My name is Makwasa. Makwasa. I've got one stem. Totally forgotten the same number. Mafigu. Stem number 35990.
Jojo Tendai, number 35981.
Tendai Katola, same number 35935.
Okay, I'm Shona Sam, and which I've forgotten the same.
Alexio Madisha from Zimbabwe Insurance Brokers, 3579.
It's my neighbor. Okay, I'll go to this side. Alright.
proxy for Katua. They didn't give me the phone number. They called me now and said, you know, it's going to be paid for them. I can't if I'm allowed, that's it.
That's fine. Okay.
We are Mr. and Mrs. Nzimba.
Let's find someone to sit together.
Stand number 3 from that gate to your left. The last gate. 1, 2, 3.
We're joined by 3 lovely ladies. Madam, we just introducing ourselves, so just introduce your name and the phone number to record it. That's fine. That's fine. That's just your name.
I'm Marina Fort. These are my friends. We work together and we're all neighbors.
There's no state number like that. This is 023 somewhere.
I'm Sylvia Temba, neighbor to these 2 lovely ladies who work together, so supported by Adam.
Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone. We really appreciate this was on short notice, but the issue of this meeting was just to give you feedback on our meeting that was held at the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works. I think that is key to why we are here. So without further delay, because we're running out of time.
So just a quick one. Are you sending us this presentation so we don't have to write in copies?
Okay. So what is happening is right now the meeting is being recorded on Facebook Live at Dabuka Village.
Okay.
Right? Then 2, we have got a team that is taking notes. So after this meeting, we'll circulate minutes of the meeting. Yes.
Thank you. It was a question for you.
Okay. But I'll just wait for them to settle. Mr. Mnyaraz, we're just introducing ourselves. Just introduce yourself. If you remember the number, you can just say it.
I don't remember the number, but Nyala Dansa.
Thank you. Come with your mouth.
Yes.
Handsome. How are you? Right, so I'll give this opportunity now to Mr. Mhlanga and Ma'am Mhlanga first. The reason is I want them to give you the vision of this estate, why they started this estate, and then from there we'll then move forward. I'll leave this floor to Mr. Mhlanga.
Okay. Thank you, Alan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
It really is an honor to be able to stand before you today because it's been a long journey. But I think what I've learned is that every journey does come to an end. So I think we are near the end of this journey and hopefully to a new beginning where you guys were going to be neighbors in the not too distant future. So we really are quite excited. This is a vision that started some 27 years ago when we left Harare, where you guys live, the leafy suburbs of Borodale and so on. And we came out to live here in 1998. And we've been here since that time. And we became quite lonely. And we then said, how about subdividing this place so that we can get new neighbors? And we are really excited by the new neighbors that have attended today. And those who have sent their apologies. You really look like really nice guys. And I think we'll have a lot of fun. I particularly like the bikers and their silencers. So it really is a real honor to be able to come to this stage, and we are looking at
Okay, where are you now?
creating, with your presence, of course, creating a really eco-friendly, nice community. I think it's absolutely important. It's not that everybody has got their own stand, but how do we relate to each other horizontally? Are we together there? So we do look forward to this friendliness. And then this is also a very secure neighborhood, we hope. You've seen that the fence is all up now. The roads are all done. Just waiting to connect. Engineer Chirume will give us the details there. But for me, really, it's just the joy of your trust in my wife and I. You guys bought here when there was lots of grass, but you had faith in the vision, and you invested your hard-earned money. And it's taken a little longer than we thought it would, but the Lord has led us to this Ebenezer moment. So really, I've got nothing else to say except to thank you so much for the faith and trust. And thank you for the journey that we're going to be walking together as neighbors, as good neighbors in an upmarket community. Thank you ever so much. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So that clients also who are getting lost, they're coming. I think some of the clients, they've seen their local representatives. So I'll be chatting with them in and out. So from this point, I'll leave this to Engineer Chirume to give us feedback on where we are now and the current status and where we are going forward. I'll leave this to Engineer Chirume.
Thank you very much, Alan. Welcome, everyone. I'm an engineer, so I don't go in circles. I just go straight to the point. I don't take a lot of time. So, Universal Design Group is my firm. I'm happy Mr. Mhlanga said the journey because I thought that this is actually a journey that we are going through. Right. So on update, this is just a list of the requirements that we have completed to date. Town planning, cadastral survey, topo survey, environmental impact assessment, hydrological survey, traffic impact assessment, engineering design, construction of on-site services. On-site services is everything that you see from water to roads that we have done. So basically, we don't need to waste time on this because you all know about it. Outstanding items. The water supply. Water supply to the development. Originally, we had approached Mabazura, which is across just our neighbors there. They've got a treatment plant, but they also do not have a lot of raw water. So we approached them and we had an agreement with them to supply us with the treated water. We moved on that journey and we faced a little bit of obstacles. However, the Lord being on our side, after last week's talk about meeting at the Minister of Local Government, Ruwa Local Board agreed to connect us directly to the municipal supply. So we are going to get connected to the we already have a letter from Ruwa Local Board confirming that they are going to connect us, and we've already handed it over to Goromonti Rural District Council. Then we move on to wastewater disposal or sewage connection. The Ruwa Local Board has agreed to connect us to their treatment plants, and we are actually already connected. It's just a matter of formalization which needs to be finished up with the Ruwa Local Board. Traffic signs and signals. As you are going around in your stands, you will see that we don't have any traffic signs, stop signs, give way signs, all those we don't have them. And traffic signal. Traffic signals will mainly be traffic lights at the main intersection there. We have not installed these deliberately. I think you all know that these days, if there is no one living there, if we install anything that can be removed physically, we won't find anything. So that's why we have waited. So we're waiting for a period such that when you guys have started building and some of you are living here, then we can do this exercise. Electrical reticulation, it is the same thing. If we install electricity lines and poles, vandalism and theft will be the order of the day. So we're waiting for such a period that you guys are on site and we can do this. Bulk electricity will go, will most likely be having the same contract with the electrical reticulation. So that those things will be done at the same time. So I think I've actually covered most of these items which are there. I've talked about Mabazwa treatment, connection to Ruwa, connection for water, disposal, traffic signs, I've talked about that, electricity, I've talked about that. Then we come to the compliance certificate. The main reason why you are hearing that we had a meeting with Minister of Local Government last week is because we could not get a compliance certificate from Goromonzi RDC. So we had letters up and down, deliberations here and there. Actually, they didn't, most of the time, Goromonzi Road District Council didn't want to meet us. So it was letters back and forth, until we escalated the matter to Minister of Local Government. In that meeting, I'm glad the PEMSEC, because it was a meeting with the PEMSEC, with Goromonzi, Ruwa Local Board, and ourselves. So the meeting was quite progressive. So all the sticking issues which they had and which we had were addressed, and now we are in a position where we are saying beginning of April we expect to have a compliance certificate. It's beginning of April because Goromonzi RDC says their full council meeting will be held on the 31st of March. So we can finish everything, but our issue is to go to full council and they have a resolution from the full council to say give them a compliance certificate. That's why we will be waiting the whole of February and the whole of March. So that is where we are in terms of our compliance certificate. I don't know if anyone has got any question.
So let's come back on the waste management.
I talked about wastewater. So on wastewater, we are connecting to Ruwa Local Board. I did not talk about the solid waste. Yeah, I didn't talk about it, but what I can say about solid waste is we have to engage Ruwa Local Board. They already know about it. We've talked before, but we don't have an agreement as yet. But that's where we will be going, Ruwa Local Board, to do the connections, because Goromonzi doesn't have such services.
If you allow me, let me just add something. It might be going through your minds. Why is he talking about Goromonzi and Ruwa and Goromonzi and Ruwa and so on? Where do we belong? So the road that you came down on there is the dividing road between Ruwa and Goromonzi. So we are in Goromonzi Rural District Council. Okay? By virtue of that road. And that road actually belongs to Ruwa. That is why it is not tarred all the way down to here. Okay? So, we're under the jurisdiction of Goromonzi Rural District Council. And that's why we've had a lot of fights. The Rural District Council does not have capacity. Are we together there? They don't have the capacity for things like sewer. They don't have capacity for things like water, solid waste management, etc., etc. But they're not about to give up. They still want us to remain under their jurisdiction so that they get what is called endowment. Are we together there? Meanwhile, the next door council, which is a Ruwa local board, has the capacity and is very willing to incorporate us. Are we together there? Albeit for a fee. So they are providing us those connections, etc., etc., for a fee. But it is the cost of doing business. Are we together there? So you will find that initially we will be billed by GRDC, Goromonzi Rural District Council. But progressively, I think a lot of the bills, after incorporation of the master plan, Ruwa, we will then be billed by Ruwa local board. I thought let's just, because it's toing and froing between the two. And there's been a lot of friction between those two councils. Hence the need for us to go and escalate the matter up to the parent ministry, i.e. Ministry of Local Government and Public Works. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, for understanding, we are getting water from the Ruwa board.
Yes.
Ruwa Council.
Ruwa local board.
My question is, do you know the availability of water? Are we going to be having issues? Do you have to incorporate drilling personal holes? Is that going to be catered for via Dabuka? Is there a plan for that?
Okay, thank you. The water, yes, we will get water from Ruwa local board, but like almost every other council, the water will not be enough for everyone every minute of the day. That is definitely a fact. So the issue of boreholes, yes, unfortunately in this area of Ruwa, there isn't much groundwater. Most places don't have groundwater. So what, if you saw on the, I think the second slide, where I said hydrogeological survey, we did a hydrogeological survey for this area. And we managed to identify 11 boreholes that can give us something on the wall side. So on your personal stands, you might drill, but you may not find anything. So the idea would be to do a communal tank supplied by the boreholes. But that project, that sub-project, I think it was subject to finances. So I think our accountants, we didn't have the finances to do that sub-project. So I think that item needs to be discussed with you guys so that we put our heads together. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Mine is a follow-up to what you said concerning electrical circulation. Many a times, you mentioned that it's delivered, that you haven't put electrical circulation. Many a times, developers say so.
Yes.
That it's deliberate until you are allowed to build after compliance. Then the project is somehow abandoned, the electrical circulation, to the extent that you as the residents will now be carrying the project. So wanted a clarification that the developer is putting 100% in the electrical articulation and probably also the traffic signs that we talked about, so that everyone is put into confidence that we are not going to have an additional cost as far as electrical articulation is concerned. I'm saying this from the background that in many developments, that's what people end up doing.
As far as I know, our original budgets catered for all these things. If I'm wrong, I stand to be guided.
If I can come in here, just to assist you. For electricity, unfortunately, engineering to do a top up. And that figure is yet to be ascertained. Why? We had approached ZESA, and ZESA said, can we be given permission to buy our own material and do the installation ourselves? And ZESA says, no. The installation is now being done by ZESA. There's a new regulation now. There's no longer private contract that can do that. What we can do is to give you a quotation, you buy the material and put it inside, then you do the articulation. So we're actually going to be sending emails for a top-up. But the top-up has not been established yet. It might be $200 for each stand, or it might be $500 for each stand. That will leave that to that decide together with engineers. But there's going to be a top-up. I hope I've answered that question.
Thank you. Anything else?
Also for running time, we've got a question and answer section. So for further questions, we might need to for you to come back and address the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'd asked someone to discuss about the infrastructure and services, but anyway, I'll just take it up. We'd asked the chairperson of the Homeowners Association, the interim, to discuss that, but I'll just come in and discuss. So if you've seen, we said Dabuka Village is a gated community. I think you've seen we put a perimeter fence. Right. Whilst we were about to complete the perimeter fence, almost it was done almost at 99%. And one night we woke up in the morning and found about 107 meters of fence stolen. So that was a huge cost to us, but because our contractor was short, we then quickly put it up. So we now have got guards on site. So I think for the past 4 months, we've been paying guards for that. So that building has been on Dabuka Village, but that cost was never budgeted in the cost. So we're actually chewing up on our budget. So this will be put to the Homeowners Association once we ask you to come in and start to develop. So what I can tell you report is, say per night we have got 2 guards, that guard during the night, and they've got dogs. Then during the day we've got 1 guard that guards. That is why you now see, I think you used to come in when the gates were open, we would drive around and walk or jog, but now we've closed up because we are getting our fence being stolen. At some point, I think during the course of the year, they stopped some thieves. Actually, they were about, I think they stopped 1 meter in the fence. So our fence, I think it's in high demand, right? We don't know who's stealing it, but it's in high demand. So we've got guards. So we now need to put that burden to the Homeowners Association. So you might find us sending you emails to say we are now collecting levies. Levies specifically to do what? To do the for the guards, and also we are about to do street lighting on the project. So that is going to be the Homeowners Association's burden. Then if I move to we are moving to the road maintenance and permitted vehicles. So again, our contractor, which is Tensor Systems, unfortunately, I sent an email for them to come in and speak, but they're not here yet. But they've got 1 year. Is it 1 or 2 years? 1 year. So what they've got 1 year. Once you get occupation of the stands, they've got 1 year to maintain the roads. Then after that building then goes to the Homeowners Association. So again, levies will be called up specifically to do the maintenance. So again, the numbers are yet to be established. Our database will then assist us in coming up with the numbers. Then in terms of, we are about to build, so the issues of what do we do currently for potable water and also for water for construction? So for potable water, whilst the implementing for us to get the potable water, we if I maybe ask Mr. Mkapit, that's that issue on potable water, then I'll come in on the water for building. So water for building, we have got a game behind us. So we are equipped but get your browser to collect water from there. You've got reserve water tanks, you can then put your reserve water tanks in. So we are happy with that. But for potable water, I'll give that to discuss. Then for, again, this is the issue of the homeowners association, the waste management and sanitation. I think once we ask you to come in and start to occupy the properties, we will now need to collect your bins. We also need to collect your rubble, your building waste. So we are likely to put skip bins maybe on 2 places and collect these during the maybe once a week or so. So we are in discussion with the Ruwa local board to assist in that endeavor. So that it means again this money will be paid from the owners association levies as well. Because I've talked about the electricity reticulation, what's going to happen. Maybe if I can take questions on that. Yes, Mr. Lee.
Oh, thank you so much. Constitution. While it's personal, I believe policy is good so that we at least control our behaviors and everything else. But at times, in the background, national background, if it does not have some consultation or input from the beneficiary, sometimes doesn't achieve what it is supposed to achieve. So like in this case, the question would be, number one, you already said it's voluntary. I think the first statement on the background. And saying voluntary, it means you join by choice. If you don't want, you don't want. Is it so? If it's so, will it not give us problems? If I voluntarily say I don't want, but I know that my behavior will affect the what? The next person. Can't we have a binding something, not a voluntary? Then the second one would be on most of the details where I was saying it has some consultations. I think it's good that we all put input so that during our occupation we know that this is our thing. Or maybe it was done, I was skipped by the consultation company. Yeah, why I'm saying so, I feel there are some 2, 3, 4 issues that are missing. Based on experience from other associations, people always fight. Since the tune change, so maybe if you can clarify on that, but my wish was, if it is for the home owners association, just like this gathering, let's discuss what we want. If I'm defeated in this group, I would accept that I failed to present what? Myself. Rather than just dictating, you should do this, plant a minimum of 2 trees. Some of the issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Let me try to answer the question. If I doesn't answer it properly, and I ask you something, I'll come on. So what was supposed to happen when you sign your agreement of sale? You're supposed to sign simultaneously with your homeowners constitution at the same time. Having thoroughly read the agreement of sale, having thoroughly read the constitution. So once, for now, the constitution it remains as a draft document until we put in place a homeowners association team or management team. We then call for a towners meeting like this again to discuss it. And we then adopt it. If there are any changes, we then adopt it. But this document, it's your document. It's the owners of this, the states in Dabuka Village, will become owners of that document. And the management team that is going to be put there, it's your team. You actually elect a team. what we've decided to do is owners of stands, we might do annual meetings every year, but the management team, we have to meet periodically. So this is one of our first meeting. Once we've got full compliance, we then ask for the second meeting again to ask everyone else again to come in. I think by that time the document should be final and it's binding to everyone.
I think maybe follow-up is just before making it binding. It's good, but we have problems having a document that was developed without the input of people. It's an experience from somewhere. You are just told there's a constitution. If we can put more input to that draft, and we have got a certain group that agree, then we are good to go. We always want to live in harmony together. But let's agree on our APC.
I think it's very correct. This is a working document which needs buy-in from all the residents. So it's work in progress. There will be an element of requesting for your comments so that they are also assessed, and then in line with the laws of the land and the vision of the area, they can be incorporated. But there will be room for discussion, just as Alan has indicated, as soon as we get compliance.
So the other issue that is also going to be put in that constitution is what are permitted vehicles in these estates. Like I've mentioned, we've got guards now, so they'll be controlling all exit and entry points, entry and exit points. So what we want, we don't want your 30-ton trucks to deliver plates. We want those short plates. We don't want to call them. 5-ton or less. So that will be also in the constitution as well. Why is because we want to preserve our roads, we want to preserve our capes as well. Yes.
Is it 5 ton or 5,000 bricks? Because for total dinner, I know from Aspindale, people in Zimbabwe are talking about 10,000. Few things in Zimbabwe are talking 5,000 bricks. So the tonnage in the consider is
I think what he is referring to is after the village is done, not during working and during construction.
Even during construction. Yes, during construction. So what we'll do is, okay, what we'll do is, there is, like I've said, the constitution, we're going to get input from you. But one of the issues, we need to agree what type of vehicles that needs to get. Which areas closer where bricks are manufactured, we then discuss with those people to say, this is what we want in Dabuka Village. If someone comes to buy bricks from you, this is what you're supposed to be offering as transport to.
I think it's a model that has also been tried elsewhere. You don't even have to reinvent the wheel. We've seen how well it's working next door. Their roads seem to be intact. So people can just learn from there and then have suggestions that are in line with what works.
I think when we get to the next item on the agenda is the construction of houses. So I'll ask Brian Muzwembe, who is our resident architect, to give us a presentation on what is the typical houses or model houses for Dabuka Village. We want your input on this one, so please really pay attention to this. It's also going to discuss what materials are needed to finish your house. So that the idea really is to say, if a valuer comes to Dabuka Village, they should have a rough idea of a typical house in the Dabuka Village. How much is the value of the house? So we don't want you to build a substandard house that equals other people's houses, but because things will be standardized, that will help us in the long-term future to preserve value of our estates. So I'll leave that to Mr. Muzwembe. us just time to organize this. Whilst we are waiting for him to connect, I think we've been joined by other customers as well, the Dabuka Village customers. Okay, yeah. Okay, Kuda, do you mind to come and join me here?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Name is Kudakwashi Matandari. I'm representing Tense Systems. So we were the contractors for Dabuka Village. So we're the ones who did the roads, did the drainage, we did the water and sewer reticulation for the development. So basically, it has been a good run. I mean, development itself clearly shows that a bit of work was put in, and I'm glad we did have an amazing collaboration with Dabuka Village. With our consulting engineers in bringing what it is today. And I'm glad that we have this quite large number of people who are really interested in what the development, what we are offering as a team to you as clients and buyers for Dabuka Village. So basically, I mean, for particular interest to you, I wouldn't go about the numbers that we got about to come up to this, but of particular interest or importance to you is just clarity from our end to say that as Tensor Systems, we have a 12 months defects liability. That's about a year. Defects liability. We will be tending and attending to any defects identified on your structure, be it a culvert misaligned, be it a leaking or blocked culvert, access culvert into your property, or some issues that what you're experiencing with the roads. Probably some defects that you're identifying on the roads. That will be our mandate. That will be our obligation to make sure that it's mended and it's well maintained within that 12-month period within which you'll be getting into the development that's through your construction period. And I think the particular reference to question that was raised, I think with regards to exo loading on the roads, it's just an issue of that when the roads were designed, they were designed to actually accommodate a particular weight in terms of tonnage. That's why it was given reference to that five ton what do you call it? Exo loading on the road. So it's basically to say that any load is in consultation with the responsible local authorities. That's our local Ruwa local board and Goromonzi Ruwa district. We're coming in about to do the inspections to make sure that the development speaks to the basic bylaws. So everything is above board, and approvals are the ones which are then leading us to the compliance that I'm sure you are here to. I'm sure it was presented already. I think on the status where we are on that. So I think that's pretty much from the contractor side. So we're basically here to make sure that you're enjoying the value of the properties that you invested in. I think that's pretty much from my end. Any questions from here?
How do we raise our queries? You say you had it for up to 6 months.
12 months actually. So basically, I'm sure there's a model within Dabuka Village. So queries are directed to the property manager rather within Dabuka Systems, and we have direct contact with Dabuka. So I'm sure that can be elaborated more by Mr. Planner with regards to how queries are raised in that regard. So mind you, these are queries in relation to design issues, If there are any other improvements, I'm sure that's a relationship that we can establish ourselves as the contractor in Dabuka, whereby if you want probably additional improvements with regards to civil infrastructure, that's when you come in. So I'm sure there is a working model, a working system, whereby an in-house property manager within Dabuka Village will be accounting to all your probably queries. Probably there will be a suggestion box or a query hotline, if I may, particular reference to other developments that have come out over time. So I think through that channel, that's when we get that information, and then we get to present ourselves probably within a reasonable time frame from your query or from the raised concern.
Maybe just to assist you, engineer, I think the management office will actually be based here. So if you've got a challenge, you basically come here.
Yes,
I just wanted to ask, so for the roads, what's the reasonable lifespan? You can say, okay, for so many years the roads will be okay. We don't want construction has started and then already in potholes.
Let me leave it to our consulting engineer who designed the road.
Okay.
The normal design period for a road is 20 years. Yeah, that's the normal design period. Yeah. But during that period, maintenance must be done. Yeah. I also wanted, apart from that, I just wanted also to elaborate a bit on someone who said not having 30-ton trucks is that standard. For those of you who are a bit old, you know that when the councils were making roads and all services before giving people stands or houses, what normally the correct way of doing these things is you do your roads, you do your water, you do your sewage, but you don't finish the roads. You leave the base without putting tar, so that when building of houses occurs, you don't damage your roads. So the councils will do the roads, the development completed, all the houses are built. Then once the houses have been built, then you come and finish up your roads, so that you do not damage them with 30-ton trucks. So what's happening nowadays is that developments are being done by individuals, like by promoter. My promoter would not be given a compliance certificate by the same council if he doesn't put the tar. That's the dilemma that we now have. And also, when you grew up, you knew that in the suburbs, the magonyet are not allowed.
Yeah.
That is the same reason. Because they damage the road. Magonyets are only allowed in the highway. Because the standard for a highway and for a township road are two different things, completely different. If we design and construct these roads to highway standard, everyone will complain that the pricing for the stands is poor. That's what I just wanted to know. Yes, sir.
My contribution was just before the gentlemen sit down, it's not fair to jump to skip this. These stands are guys are good. The way they do their things. When driving along Mutare Road, you are forced to look at what they are doing. It's just that comment.
Thank you so much. So other questions will follow on the question and answer session. So please bear with us. So I'll leave this time now to Wendy to give us a presentation.
Good morning, everybody. It is good to see the numbers that are coming to such meetings, and we're quite excited. A brief background: I think I visited the promoter here when it was just Vision Ground, and his vision was we want to do something different something that people would like, and we started from there. So it's nice to see the dream come true. I'm also one of the proud owners. I couldn't wait to, when the promoter gave me the opportunity to also buy, I couldn't wait to get it because I thought I want to be part of this owners association when you stay or when we are going to be building. So I'm the architect. We brought out the vision for the whole development, and it is divided like this. So this is your Mutare road. Just off Mutare, you see we've introduced a new road. This was the requirement of the engine service station that they will need in and out. So we introduced this new road. You will see that we have done traffic studies here to expand this intersection. That will allow you to turn in and out without problems. When you come in, you'll see we want to green this whole zone. It's a road reserve. But what we want to do is we want to green it and fence it so that your children can go there and play. So I think it's a good thing. Any development, you want kids to have somewhere to play. But obviously the board corporate will be, or the homeowners association will be in charge of manning this section. Okay, so then you have got small shops, or my promoter likes to call it three monkeys. Those who have gone through three monkeys, we want to sort of have a little corner there. It has got a restaurant, eateries, also saloon areas, just small shops that perhaps a homeowner can actually be running one of those shops, you know, and increase your income as you stay here. So you have it here. Then from there, we had an expression of interest from a particular client who wanted two things: the shop, which is 10,000 square meters, and farmers built it, which is about 1,000 square meters. So we have got the main shop here, and we've got the farmers here. Then from there, we have the hospital. So we have a 3-story building for the hospital. That's actually, currently we're going through designs and consultations, and a potential, say, off-taker and someone who is going to develop. So you have your hospital there. This then is bordered around by 39 blocks of 2-story flats, which are also going to be gated, as you see with the red gates there. So that section, you'll see that our clear view is sort of actually cut to show some of these demarcations, what we're going to do. Right, so this is your, I would say, auxiliary services for you to stay in Dabuka. Particularly of importance is the school, which I think is a big thing. A lot of these houses sometimes are bought by youngsters, new couples, people who are starting family. So this is going to be the primary school, okay, with the requirements of Ministry of Education, compliance, everything else. Then your houses obviously they follow. So in brief, that's your overall project, if you were to explain it to other people. Now, we started looking into prototypes. So I've been listening to comments and I found them quite interesting. Because when we did the prototypes of the houses, we thought we've done a game changer, we're done, this is beautiful. When people started coming to our offices, they have their own designs. And I find that to be very nice. I'm being honest with you, because you'll get a client who will come and say, on top of this garage, I want to put a little sitting area. It's beautiful. So we have started, I think a lot of you who have been in consultation have been talking to Norma a lot from our office, to do changes to your prototypes. And we have said, we'll allow people to change as much as they can. And we're not billing you for that. So we'll bill you our once-off fee. Once you start to do your adjustments, feel free. Move it around. What we are good at, what we'll try to maintain for you, is the outward appearance of the whole development. In other words, I'm saying, if this is what I've given you as a prototype, and you want to change it inside, I'm willing to do that. And sort of allow a street view that will make this value and this value to be about the same. The challenge is if we don't control that, this person will use 200,000 to build a house. This one will use 50,000 to build a house. What then happens is when the evaluator comes, he's going to reduce this 200 because someone do something bad next year. So I think to us, we need to consciously sort of control that. That's why when we started the project, we then said we'll be the architects. people can bring as much changes as they want. We'll look into it, we'll spend time. I would encourage you that do the changes now before the compliance. Because once compliance is out, everyone is going to be under pressure to start building. And you're now going to be chasing and say, no, I want my plan tomorrow. Architects make better if you have time. So the best you can do, while we are waiting for compliance, please come to our offices and do as many changes as you can. So that come April, you're just ready to submit and you are ready to start building. Okay? So just to explain to you what was our thinking, I will explain this interesting scenario which I've also discovered from tenants, or from clients rather. We have a gift roof, which we have got a high-pitched roof, which allows you to have high windows and high ceilings. Almost typical what we are sitting in here. That's typically how a house like this would look like. So if you follow your ceiling, like the thatch, you have high ceilings in the house, it makes it a bit cooler. Now, here is the issue. This is one type. This is another type. People actually like the common one. So I don't know how. I'm quite. There is a term for it. From all the clients who've been working in the office, a lot of them are actually preferring this. I think they are familiar to it. I think they communicate better to it. Yeah, maybe let me hear what is it? Laggard. What does that even mean? Safe is safe. I think so. So what we have actually started doing is we actually want to develop this model more. We were saying because we thought we're bringing something modern and new, but we were actually surprised that we wanted to go this route more. Some are picking this route, that's for sure, but we have now realized that we might as well have more concentration on designs on this, because people are picking this route and this time. So I think it's one of the things. The other things what we have picked is, and I'll need to talk to the promoters, some people are actually preferring tiles to IBI on the roofing sheets. So it's something that we need as a community to sort of agree to and then come up with, okay, should we not? Because it's one of the requirements that will then affect when you finalize your homeowners association. Okay, this again is just showing a street view. A bone of contention which we want to discuss now, before we start building, is we had gone for low boundary walls. We're also getting clients who are saying, I want to close off my property. And I must say, it's your money. And so we want to open this discussion over this period before compliance, so that by the time the promoters are doing a final document, we've agreed. I'm raising this because clients walk in and say, I don't want. I will tell you the biggest advantage of these small walls. Obviously, I've lived in a property like that. When you have small open walls, your neighbors can help with security. They can actually see who is walking in there. But now some people will then say, I don't want to be seen walking. But because you've got a clear view, perimeter fence, yes, my MD.
Two questions.
Yes.
The first one, obviously, is given that we've got so many designs.
Yes.
How does it come out when they are mixed up?
Yeah.
As you can see there,
yes.
It's uniform.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how it comes out, because if someone says, I want this one here and the next one. So
Yeah.
that is one.
Yes.
The second one, I'm sure you've got the back end, which is private.
Yes.
So still people can have privacy
behind
where they are not seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the modern trend? When you look at the South Africas, Americas and the like.
This
in terms
is the
of
modern
walls.
trend. This low boundary walls, this is what happens. Because our streets are plus or minus, if you put 10, 15 meters wide. If you put boundary walls, they sort of create that channel where it's just a street. If you have small walls and people are planting gardens, as you drive in the street, it's wide and open. So it's one of those things, but the biggest reason why people are now doing this in gated communities, number one, you've got external security already, where you've got your entrance gates and everything else. Number two, your neighbor is your security. That's a rule. If I see your kid being taken, I can quickly say, hey, what's going on? So it's a thing we have to discuss, and I'm not saying it's a casting stone. I'm saying preferably that would have been your best option. I'll just go to the other one so that we can open more questions and answers. Okay, this is just showing you the blocks of the apartments that are coming. Those ones I showed you, that's in front. That's the blocks of the apartments. These are typical houses. That's the hospital. Yeah, that's the hospital. That's the typical house. I'm building that one, so it's my favorite. I'm not selling the idea, but I'm building that one. That's the shopping center. That's the entrance. This history, Mr. Dabuka is a mushroom grower, so we took his mushroom business and created an entrance which is unique to Dabuka Village. Wow. So that's what's gonna come there. This is the big shop. This is the school. That's the school hall. This is the admin for the school. Then this is the school grounds and the blocks. I think particularly, in my honest opinion, I'm not sure that's about it in terms of our housing. I will open to question and other what we're thinking.
As close to the city, yet far away from the madness of the this little village is said to be built on 42 acres of
okay. Probably you can take us through the floor plan. Okay? Yeah, because you concentrate mainly on the aesthetic appearance. That's okay.
Yeah, my question was on individual houses. There are no stories.
So for the theme for Dabuka Village, it's a single story. The idea is you can't mix, because these are 500 square meter stories. If you put a double story, that means you're overlooking neighbor's property. So the idea is for the theme, we said single story. If you go to Fairview Park in Westgate, they have 1,000 square meters. You've got a single story, double story, single story, double story. If you stand by the entrance, it doesn't look nice. And also value, you change value. Because if you put a double story house in a single story property, you might not get the true value of the property. Yes. Sorry, did I answer you?
Yeah, it's answered though.
I
always see after some 3 months others going for the story. But from the onset of everything it was like this. But later on you find 2, 3, 4, 5 people are on story.
Because it's to be the constitution and also with
So
the
it goes back to that thing now saying how did the constitution come out? We need
was like what I said,
and it should not be voluntary. It should be binding.
So the idea really is we will put a resident architect for any property that's going to be built in Dabuka Village. Just go through his office. So it's the one who will control. So that will be also in the constitution as well. So everyone will be found. Then I've got just follow up to your question. I'm surprised. I had an inquiry from one of my clients in the States. They said on the cathedral ceiling, when you put in attic, someone can put in office ceiling.
Yes. Yes, it's possible. I think one of the clients could be one of the ladies there. They actually want to put a little. Is there where you can put a little floor using say steel, and you can have your baby sleeping there, or as a little play area. And yeah, it's possible. Yes, that's one of the advantages of those. Just trying to open the floor plans for this.
Whilst it's opening,
I wanted to comment on boundaries, especially inside. It's ideal, yes, to have the, but there is a condition. We must have the outward boundary, which is very secure. No one is willing to put a low boundary when it's compromised. Security is a real issue for residents. So as long as we are we are comfortable with the outline, the main boundary, we can afford to compromise.
All right. It was just so it was all comment.
Yeah, actually, it's almost like complement what she's saying. So what I seen others do is to make like a hybrid of what you are saying, where you say your neighbor helps you on your security. So other communities, what they do is they say you can put even a solid wall as high as you want around, but to front they say you put a visible wall. So you know, just after like to fence like a clear view, or even a massive there, so you can actually see what's inside. It's also like a hybrid.
I think the idea really is once we put a substantive homeowners association, we then call for a meeting to discuss the aesthetics of the project together, like what we're doing now. I think what's also adding to that, once we've got a perimeter fence, there should be an additional security issues like street lights. Some are even putting a control room together with CCTVs around the community. So those are the issues that the homeowners association will look into.
Yeah, just to add on to what Alan is saying, I think we need to overemphasize that Dabuka Village is more of a lifestyle. It's not your standard neighborhood. And we have to do whatever it takes to maintain that sort of standard we're looking at. So if our concern is about security, our security shouldn't compromise the aesthetics of the development. The idea is to step up on the security. We maintain the design, we maintain the fresh look, and we step up on the security. I think that's where we should place our focus on, because the moment we start talking about these perimeter walls, somebody's going to put panels, somebody's going to put brick walls, which they're not going to plaster. Somebody's going to put a face brick. Somebody's going to put a pomona brick. Already we've got a bit of chaos there. So much as we want to, like his point is saying, much as we want to make sure that everyone is involved, some of us need exposure. Some of us don't have the exposure of like what Tendai was talking about in terms of the neighborhoods in South Africa. Some of us cannot visualize that. So maybe a few people may need assistance for them to appreciate what the vision that we're trying to put across here. So the matter of my opinion must be heard, but you need to also understand that times are moving, times are changing, and for us to maintain value of this neighborhood, we have to do it the modern way. Let's try and shake off Shata China. This is Dabuka. It's coming on with its own idea, with its own vision. So I think let's just maintain on upgrading the security and not compromising. I'm very sensitive about this. It's the wrong thing.
Thank you so much. So we agree that walls are not the most ideal. Okay, the two gentlemen, which one? Yeah, coming first. So the idea is what we've discussed amongst our meetings is to say we need to have boom gates. Okay. So what we've agreed on the boom gates for now, we are using the entrance to the shopping center as our main entrance for now. The idea is the one that is cut all the way from Terrible. So on that one, we're going to put guardrails, we're going to put boom gates, and because there will be levies in this estate, everyone will be given a card. So you open the book gate using an electronic card. So if you don't pay your levies on time, automatically it doesn't open for you. You're shut out of the stage. So it's one way of enforcing levies to pay. So you just leave your car outside, then walk to your house. So that's going to happen. So it's phase 2 of the project. Our accountants are looking into those numbers and the figures. Yes. Is another question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll leave that to.
Sorry, Alan. I wanted to.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So on the plan, have you done any evaluation or estimate? If I cost how much that
BOQs have been done by engineer. Unfortunately,
take that
yeah,
question.
but
Brian can do that.
Brian can take that question.
Okay, that's fine. Always back to Brian.
I know it's a hot question. So we have a BOQ, and it's been valued to the T. But this is what has happened. On the BOQ, they've included escalation, contingencies, professional fees, submission. So before these other things are added on, the average is around 92. But that's using a quantity surveyor estimate. Now, the BOQ, one client, I think it's my Tawando, so I don't know if she's here. She called me and said, but I don't need a BOQ. I said, but you need it because this is what will happen. We could give you a material schedule from the BOQ. What that does is it allows you to immediately know how many bags of cement, how many bags of what you need to buy. Then that 90,000 becomes, you start to be able to contract. We've got recommended contractors that we'll also talk to you about. But ideally, with the BOQ, its main purpose is to assist you. How many aggregates do I need in the foundations? Okay, fine, now I've got that. How much sand do I need there? So it's important that you have a look at it, and it's there. They've been all measured to house type 10. So I wanted to take that, yeah. I'm not sure if I've answered it. Okay, good. All right, so this is the popular house, house type 2, which is a hipped roof. It has got a double garage, an entrance lobby, a lounge dining kitchen. Then it has a scullery and pantry on the outside, a guest toilet so that your guests can use the toilet intermediate. Then you have 1, 2, 3 bedrooms with the main bedroom having its own dresser and ensuite. So the 2 bedrooms they share. Then the main bedroom, it has got its own bathroom. And then on the outside, it is an outside veranda, what Mr. Tendai was talking about. At the back, you have got a braai area where you can braai facing on the outside or the back courtyard. So that's typical Egypt type. Very popular with a lot of people. 500 square meters stand. That's the one that a lot of people are choosing. Then we have, say, another type. Sorry, I'm connecting, so it takes a bit of time. Okay. This is the high-pitch roof. This is how the high-pitch roof would work. You have got your entrance hall. You have got a single or double garage. Then it opens out lounge, dining, kitchen in this open area with the scullery at the back, etc. Then it goes to the backyard through your entertainment veranda. You've got bedroom 1, 2, 3 on one side. Then the master bedroom is secluded on its other side with its own ensuite. So that's typically could be the major difference with others, where the one you've got all bedrooms on one side. Here you've got 3 bedrooms on one side, and you've got the master on the other. I'm seeing very interesting alterations to this plan, which I think are very effective. People are looking at living maids. People are looking at how can I then convert that into my maid and still have the look and the park outside. And all these things we are willing to entertain and have a look at it. So typically all the houses then are developed from these 2 that I've showed you, which is the high pitch. So the high pitch then sits here, which is the high roof like this, and another one sits there. So your main bedroom and this one is got high pitch. Then the sides ones will have the low pitches, as I'll show you on the picture. On the 2 that I've shown now, can I have questions if I have any?
Yes, thank you. In terms of the 2 different types of roofs, because we're all now talking of solar.
Yes.
So if I'm going to want to put solar, which is the best option to
Yes,
have?
high pitched. So the high pitched, it's at 30 degrees. Your recommended is 22 for the solar panel. So 30 degrees you harvest very well. The other ones, yes, you can harvest. Their challenge is the roof. You will see. I think you've seen this in a lot of other houses. The challenge with this one, hipped one, you don't have as much roof space where you can lay because it's gonna connect with another hip. So you find that people then put 3 panels there, 2 panels there. Whereas if it's a hipped one, you can flood that whole section with your panels. Any question? But thanks for that one. And I think it's something that we, I think we got one client who actually asked, so where am I going to put my batteries? So in some, we're starting to put a little energy room so that you can put your batteries for your solar. It is something like this. Okay. Any more questions? Yes.
Thank you. I believe some of us are staying somewhere and looking to Dabuka, we are trying to commercialize. So also given the economics, somehow, somewhere you might need maybe a plan that can go commercial, maybe having a guest room. Your last plan which you showed, is there a provision for that? Like having the main house but with a guest wing. The two are attached but they are separate.
Yeah. So that's a very good question. And I will tell you that a lot of people who are also buying are outside the country. So it's important we've actually started doing it. I won't mention names, but I've already been asked by a few individuals that, how do I make my house commercially viable? Like, how do I put 3 tenants in there? It's still exactly the same house, but I have about 2 or 3 tenants. And we've started looking into it. But I could share with you because, for example, this is for example. If I have this wing, I can use this wing as a tenant, right? In a block here. I can use this wing as a tenant in a block, then the other one is the last one. However, there are options. I've also done one of mine in Dama Falls here, where I have 3 tenants in one. The front, but that's possible more on type 10 or type 2. It's more possible typically now I'm thinking even this one won't show. But to answer you, I'm busy working on that, but you have one tenant in front, then you have one in the middle and one at the end. All you do for your submission, because it's not allowed.
Yeah.
I need to highlight this to you, but we're a community, right? So you also want to make value for your development. It's not allowed to have too many families or I thought I must highlight that before I tell you other, but okay, can I take this one first? I need to finish answering.
Thank you.
You answered, right?
I was going to ask to say we have 3 tenants, 6 cars. How does it look out? I mean, we're talking of a lifestyle.
That's right.
And everyone, where do we park? Am I going to encroach my neighbors? Yeah.
So, yes, please. Yes.
Because there's adverse effects on the value of the property. It should be, the constitution should outline a number,
Good. Yeah. So I think that is very clear. That's why I have 2 questions at the back. I'll start with the green cap. Type 2. Is the one open? Okay, that's type 1.
Because I haven't decided which plan I want to go.
Okay, sure.
So,
Okay.
at the same time, if I want to entertain, if I want to entertain, if I want to ask people, is it allowed to build a gazebo type structure, like a back view? Maybe I want to park my bike here. Is it allowed?
So number 1, the Town Planning Act allows you to have a little external gazebo in the attachment. We'll just then, in there. That's why the board corporate rules are going to be very critical. What is important is how big should it be and what is in it. I'll give you an example. If you do an outside one, then it has got a little room and a toilet and a kitchenette. Suddenly we are now looking at it as you want to do rentals and other things. So there is a way to do it, but entertainment you can definitely have a gazebo outside. Some of the houses there, they've got space to allow for even a swimming pool. So that's permissible. Then that's the type one. It's the one with bedrooms either way.
Is that the one that allows for the pool?
Yes, this allows for the pool. Because the building line is about here. I think you must stand here. And you just do this. Okay, so this is the big backyard, and it ends up to there. So to the building line, because your pool must be in the building line, you have about 7 meters. So the normal pool is 3 by 6. So you should be fine.
And the little gazebo.
You can have a little gazebo. So you can do a little gazebo by the corner and do your pool. I did some designs where it's going this way to give you a bit of more space for very good use in the gazebo.
Okay.
Could I hear the question?
No, but mine was actually a contribution.
Yeah.
Just say, I mean, I like the comment raised by a gentleman to say, I would want to probably get some return income from my property. But then again, that might be an ideal situation for individuals, but highly discouraged.
Yeah.
From past experiences and past experience from different other estates.
Yeah.
I mean, with densification, property values might end up decreasing. You might want to sell property, but because of the overcrowding that comes about with additional tenants on your property, that's number one. Number two, strain on your amenities. You have a reticulation system. 3-4 families pumping into those sewer lines and water lines. Bit of a strain on you. You're probably going to have your in-house circulation of your refuse collectors. You're probably going to need more frequent refuse collection on your individual property. So the positive might, at the end, outweigh the negative. That's just a personal
contribution. Thank you, Kuda. I think that's quite well noted.
Sorry, just wanted to respond. Thank you. I think on the issue of commercialization, it's not about saying if we have got 3 families, 5 people, 5, 10 there. When you are saying commercialization, I can have a Chinese group of 3 people, but their boss want to stay alone. He's taking another wing. So I might have 3 families, but in total 4 people. And you might have 1 family, but
in total we 10 people.
We also want to make a living. So let's not be blind on the commercialization part, but how we are doing it. And maintaining the what? The value. Not just saying discouraging. But how are we doing it? For sure, myself, I want to commercialize, and I'm looking into that. But in terms of number, I just want maybe a small family. Just you, one in there, okay with it. And another one is taking another wing. Just like that's the commercialization part of what? Of it.
That's right. That's right. I think that's self-explanatory. I wanted to take Madame. That's the 3 monkeys one.
That's the 3 monkeys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the one the promoter is eager on that. He's actually saying, please create for me a lifestyle, a little convenience, nice coffee, and a little pool area, and a gym. So we've made it now a double story to accommodate a couple of that. But that's at the promoter's heart. Yeah. So thanks for that. And I think now I'm going to be under pressure. Now let's take from Madame and finish with you.
One more.
Madame at the back. Yes. So on the side, I've left 3 meters on one side. Your car will need 2.5. So on there, I can do your temporary or a structure, not temporary, a structure there for a carport. Because I have space on that side. Then in front of your garage, we have left about 6 meters. So you are able to drive in and park 2 cars on the side, which is on this side. Yeah, but inside your stand. Yes. Perhaps I could go back to try to go back to the images. I know exactly what she's trying to okay. Oh, communal parking. Ooh, that's only gonna be on the commercial side, by the shops there. We do not have anything here. Your challenge is how do you get it from your neighbors or from the school? You can't.
I mean,
So
so it's thinking like a package where we can park our extra cars and you walk back to your house.
it's only gonna be by the shops. Yeah, because there is no way. Remember, these are single stands. From here, so we cannot create any additional. The only way I've seen people, they talk with the people from the shopping center and they park here, but not anywhere there. But in your stand, you can park 4 cars.
Yeah, so also
in your stand. The last one.
Maybe the best is to give, say, a rental assessment of if the house is as opposed to when it's got different rooms. If you come up with a rental, say, then you provide a rental.
To just give you roughly, if you keep it as it is, if you.
Yes.
Or
to have this means that see, maybe you are getting 600, but this one is giving you 200.
Yeah.
1 plus 3.
It might add up to.
4.
Yeah.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Okay. I think it's something that you can. Thank you so much. It's been me and Norma a lot. I think Norma has been helping a lot of you guys. So if you have any questions, even before you start building, and I'm getting that a lot, people will say, I have not made a choice yet, just take me through the floor plans, we've done that. So if you have any questions, you can just call us and we can just help you to explain. Thank you so much. We are going to be doing supervision during your construction. We are going to insist
your
on...
address, Brad, please.
Okay, so I'm in Mount Pleasant, number 14, West Court Road.
Your number?
Then my number, 0786 323 222. We can always also give you around after. And you must take also Norma's number so that there are 2 people you can be talking to directly. Thank you so much.
Yes, Brian. Thank you so much, Brian. So Brian and Norma are going to be here, so they're going to answer all your queries. And also we've got an opportunity to take you and inspect your stand. You can take your stand. I know myself, Emma, and Safety, we are available. Mrs. Gombe, you want to say something?
Yeah, but if you're increasing with me, yeah.
Sure,
I've
go ahead.
been hearing about portals, swimming pool, and whatever.
Yes.
Which season are we talking about? I don't know the lowest sizes of things that we have in Dabuka Village. Like the swimming pool, water, and also
What's your stand size? Yeah, 400 you'll be able to have a swimming pool and 4 cars. The house length is between, it's about 232 to 250. So you are able, yeah. From the designs we made, you are able to park your cars in there. Yeah.
What I can advise you to do before he leaves, sit down with him, do a small sketch.
Yeah, sure.
With him. So So then you go back home and discuss things. But what I just want to add on Brian's presentation is we're talking about commercialization of your properties in Dabuka Village. One of the issues that is addressed in one of the meetings was Airbnb. So a house is unfortunately going to be used for Airbnb. I think that will be part of the homeowners association. The idea is of Airbnb is you've got guests, different guests coming in and out. So our security-wise is then compromised. So I think that needs to sink in. Then on the build cost, I asked it Gateway Construction to come in and do a presentation on build cost. So Mr. Brian and the engineer Boise, they came up with what called bill of quantities, right? Which was 92,000 for a 510 square meter stand. But we think Gateway says no, that house can be built on between 45,000 and 65,000. So our idea is we engage them to come in and build model houses. So they're going to build a model house for 320 square meters and 510 square meters. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here, but it's going to happen. Okay. So the next section, let's go to the Homeowners Association. So for the time being, I think we're running out of time. I will ask the team to maybe say we started late. If we can close the meeting at 10:30, 11:30, are we happy? So that's fine. So on the Homeowners Association, we didn't trim a team that we have with us. So with Mrs. Ulo Magundan Bere, she's with Scanlon. She's our interim chairperson with the association. Then we've got Dr. George Jakanani, is a medical doctor. He's part of the Homeowners Association. The interim. Unfortunately, he sent his apologies out of the country. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here. But the third member is Mr. Pardon Makuaza. I think if you can come through and stay with me. Maybe I'll also ask Mr. Mklanga. Please just come through. Yeah, okay. The idea really is to discuss the structure of the Homeowners Association. We've got these interim members. So Mr. Nikita Mtasa is also an ex-official member of the association. He's our advisor to that. SIF are secretaries to that association, also ex-official members, until proper constitution is in place. So I'll leave these two gentlemen to take us through the Homeowners Association and the constitution. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks. Mr. you want to pick it up, given that you're a lawyer and those are the things that you guys do.
All right.
Let's fill in.
Let me take this approach. Makwaza is my name. Like I said, I'm a lawyer by profession. I was co-opted into the interim committee by the promoter. Like the term depicts, it's just interim. The promoter noted that there was a gap in whatever he or they were doing, especially as far as engaging local authorities and other stakeholders. There was need for some push from the residents. So he co-opted or brought about an interim committee wherein we have been assisting him to get where we are today. Though nothing much was being done to consult most of the residents. So the whole idea or the rationale behind this association, if we have got our constitution, that draft constitution, is on page 2 of that constitution. The purpose of this Homeowners Association is to protect and enhance the value of the property. Let's pick that one, including without limiting to providing for the management, maintenance, repair, and the replacement of the common areas and improvements thereon. The association does not contemplate a pecuniary gain or a profit to its members as a result of membership of the association. So I'm just highlighting the main reason why this is important. Because we are a gated community, we then need to have
a committee that will help in the management of all the affairs of the community in line with an agreed constitution. I must highlight that the draft constitution that was circulated mainly carries the views or the vision of the promoter. I must highlight that. That is what he visualizes. However, it's entirely up to us to come up with a constitution that we want. Of course, without throwing away his vision. His vision is probably 75% respected. Then we incorporate our views to blend into what his vision is. So, we allowed that constitution to be circulated so that people have got an idea of his vision and start to think about how we can add in some flesh so that we have a complete and binding document like the gentleman was talking about. So now we do not have a compliance as yet. So I want to believe the interim committee is going to be in place until we have a compliance. After we have a compliance, it is the view of the promoter and the interim committee that we need to then have an inaugural AGM, wherein a committee, a management committee, a proper management committee is then put into place. Committees are established for the purposes of doing your security, whatever and whatever. So this is the idea behind the association. The association will also be there to be a link between the residents and the other stakeholders, including, I heard people talking about Chenzo. A pothole develops in front of my house. How do I go about it? The residents association is there to pick it up, share with the promoter and the contractor so that it is attended within that month period that we talked about. So the other thing is opening a residence group. Immediately after compliance, there will be need for a WhatsApp group to be open, wherein people start to throw in their views. Of course, there will be some do's and don'ts and so on and so forth. These are issues that we need to think about as we live today. That there is going to be an association mainly to manage this community. And everyone must be aware. We have situations in many communities where people buy these stands and they don't know what they are going to be facing going into the future. Let's remember that we are going to be paying levies as we stay in Dabuka Village. Let's remember that if Goromonzi or Ruwa local board, they are going to be our local authorities, we need also to be paying rents. So it's twofold. Our levies to the homeowners association for the running of the affairs of the community and the local authority for other liabilities that we have with the local authorities that we need to deal with. So this is just an overview of what the association will be like, and you guys be prepared to be part and parcel of this association, to be members of the committee immediately as we get the compliance. I don't know whether
No, you've covered it. I couldn't have said it any better. My only small addition is that we need to maintain high standards. That's the story. High standards. And that rests with us. Are we together there? I mean, we must have the cleanest streets. We must have everything must work. And that can only work with commitment. Are we together? It's a dream, and I've seen it happening. I mean, you look at other communities, with Borodel Group, and so on and so forth. Things do work. Are we together? Let's make this thing work. And particularly pleasing for a new area in peri-urban Harare, outside of Harare, where the members are younger people with a vision to drive our country forward. Let's make it work. And I think this is what, it's really about standards. If we set a high bar and we all strive to maintain the bar at that level, then I think we are sorted. That will deal with issues like parking in the street, for example. You know, your neighbor parks 4 cars and they block your entrance and so on and so on. That should not be allowed. Are you with me there? So it really is, we need to be prescriptive, and the guys, we enforce it ourselves, because these are investments. These are investments for the future. Are we together there? For future generations, what legacy are we leaving, etc., etc. And this is what this body corporate, the association, should be doing. Really, that's really, I'm going to be living here myself also. I'm not leaving, so I'll be staying here. So I'll also strive to ensure that we maintain high standards. That's all I can say. Thank you very much.
I think my additions to that is whoever wants to be part of the interim committee, please forward your names to us, myself or Mr. Msanga, we'll discuss. But a meeting date will be met for the interim committee to meet. Of course, the venue is Gazebo. Thank you. Thank you. Right, so on the question and answer, I think that's the other part. I know we've got a burning question. We did circulate the constitution, we did circulate a radiological report. I'm not sure any other thing that we circulated, but we try to circulate as much information as we can. So I think, unfortunately, we took time to go through it, but if you've got any burning question, this is your time. So the ground rules are to say, we take 3 questions, they're answered, then we take the next 3 questions, they're answered, then we take the last 3 questions and they're answered, then we close the other question session. I know questions have been rising and answered periodically, but I think we start from here. The consultants are here, they can answer any questions.
The question.
Okay. You can come in first, then Brian will come in second. Then Mr. Sam will come in third.
Thank you. Maybe I came in a bit late. I just want to find out how will this information be circulated? What's the mode of communication? The interim constitution and whatever staff from this side. How is it circulated?
So I'll answer that one. Let me check the 2 questions.
So I have 2 questions. The first one, on my additional costs, like where you mentioned electricity and I'm sure there are other costs that we definitely pop up. Is there a way that you can consolidate some of these costs that are very important and maybe just that additional cost just give us one amount so that we don't keep having surprises? But generally, because I don't like surprises in terms of costs. Electricity and the water part is something that we never discussed. We never thought we would come up this way. Honestly, from the first discussion we had before we were trying to divide the land, I'm sure if you remember, we explained that we put walls and you guys will supply water. So unfortunately, later on now seeing that there's not enough water, obviously we can't have water very good. So from that, the question is, the way you can put all those costs together so that when you come back to us and tell us, okay, we need additional dollars. And then the second question is on the planners. very important problem. When you're thinking of the future plan of building this side, and at the same time, depending on the schools, you have to take your child to school. The other side, so waking up and coming back to your house. Then another offside suggestion is SEEF is developing, and as we also hope to continue to buy land or to work with SEEF. I think that question is very important in terms of space, because of the model that we have now. It's not a model that we used to. This is new. What happens in our culture, this culture of ours, where do people park their cars? We don't want 4 cars in front, but you're going to have 10, 15 cars. Where do we park those cars?
I think you've done 4 questions, but it's fine. It's fine, I'm taking notes. It's
okay, thank you, Mr. Allen. So mine have got questions and also suggestions. So the first one is about the liquidation. There are certain damages to the contractor. So for defects that may come out, maybe say after the 12 months, maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, that are directly related to the poor workmanship that has been done by the contractor. I'm not saying he has done poor workmanship, but I'm just saying that maybe something like that may just pop up. How are we going to deal with that? Because after 12 months, the contractor is offside. We have no longer anything happening with the project. So we also need to look into that. Then also the issue of potable water, then electric supply. I think we need to expedite that. We need to do it fast, because I understand when they are installing the poles, maybe there are cranes that may come in, it might be difficult. Go ahead, people they've already started from the construction of their houses. With the bricks, we've got aggregates everywhere. So we just need also to expedite that. Then the third one is I didn't see the constitution. I'm not so sure which medium of communication I will listen. I didn't see the constitution. Then the road from Tare Road, this road, I'm not so sure. I think it's also something that we also need to discuss with the relevant authorities, because everywhere is fine, but this road now, this was just to be last year. I think we also need to address that. Then the last suggestion is about the guardhouses and the access control. I think as the visionary said, we also need to make sure that they are standard. We maintain the high bar. Put cameras and everything so that our community is safe and secure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I'll answer on the issues of medium of communication for the time being. And I'll ask you also the other consultants to answer on their sections. So for communication for the time being, we're using your emails for communicating. That's what we do. Then at some point I did send a message to your WhatsApp messages, which was because I was seeing a lot of people were not responding to these messages. So for the time being, we're using emails as a mode of communication. I think when everyone else had signed the agreement of sale, they did provide their emails. But we are not seeing that they are not very effective. We'll try and change that. And also we're posting on our Dabuka Village channel, on WhatsApp channel, also on SEEF Zimbabwe channel as well. On WhatsApp, if you look over those WhatsApp channels, that information is there. The idea is we're trying to avoid opening a group, WhatsApp group, for us to disseminate information, because I will not sleep. I know it will be noisy. So the idea is we'll put that to the association when it's up and running. So just deal with us. So if you do not receive any email from us, please come through to us, or we'll retake your email that you're currently using now. And we'll send that email to you. And we'll send all the information that you're sending to others, we'll send it to you. So I hope I've answered that for the terms of communication. I don't know if I answered this question.
I think we asked for emails this morning when we were coming in. Did you update your emails about the entrance?
We did that. Thank you. And Engineer Ruzino is not here to talk about the cost of electricity, but I'll ask maybe Mr. Mzadzi. You are the, that's fine, I'll go to you, but you are accountant. Right. Do we have all the costs with you now, going forward?
So I think we've got the costs coming all the way to bring electricity to the development. But in terms of the reticulation, that has not yet been concluded, but that is being worked on.
What I can add on to that, we will properly advise you in writing to say these are the additional costs. But since for those that have paid their purchase price, their VATs in full, the next cost immediately that you need to look into are the conveyancing or transfer fees. We have got Mr. Mkasa here. If you get his email, if you send him an email on Monday, he will be able to give you a breakdown of those transfer fees. We have got them, but we have got rough estimates, but he will give you the proper figures, cost for transfers. I hope Mr. Mkasa, that's really good.
Dad?
The other question now is, these are technical questions. I will leave this to Engineer Chivume to discuss on the issue of traffic going in and out of town, issue of parking space. Say there is a function, but what I know is within the flats area, we're going to have community house. A clubhouse. We're going to have a clubhouse. So within that clubhouse, I think if you've got a gathering that you want to use, all residents are with capacity, they're allowed to go and book for that. I'm not sure the cost to the association, I think, to be run by the owners association. So I think they will be parking on that side, and also the water function that will be held on that side. Maybe the rest of the technical questions, I'll leave this to Engineer Chivume.
I suppose it's only one thing. The gentleman who asked about if we know anything about what's going to happen on Talent. What I know is, but it's not official. I'm not a government official because these roads belong to Minister of Transport. What I know is that there is a design for freeways around Harare, and at the junction, the problematic junction, Harare Drive and Mutare Road, supposed to be an interchange there to ease the traffic around Mutare Road. That's what I know. When it's going to happen, I don't know. As I said, I'm not a government official. But I think from what we've seen that something has happened or is happening at Mbuzi, in future things change and I think something will happen. Because these designs for the freeways have been there for quite some time. And it's just a matter of implementation, so we just hope maybe during our time it will happen.
Right.
So I have this parking story is what issue is the owner also thinking about it. However, we have a road reserve that we say you want to bring. We could, as an association, take part of that road reserve for members parking because we're going to fence it anyway. Because it's a road reserve, you mustn't do something permanent on it. But we could have a section where we can say for our people, if there is a funeral, we can get 50 cars. So I think there is ways to do it. We can look at it.
Okay. So is this part of the entire road?
Yeah, you see the road reserve, we're going to green now and make all green plants out. You can then check part of that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think the issue of potable water, you want to take it up?
I didn't hear that. What was said about potable water?
This is the whole issue.
When we were marketing this project, we were saying at some point we will put boreholes, communal boreholes. So there's a cost that is coming up with that. Are we still going out with boreholes or will we get the water from Ruwa?
Maybe that we are connecting to Ruwa municipality for our water. The whole issue.
Sorry, before my elaborate on that question. So that the question was, when you then put the cost, I understood, I was here when you explained, I got that. The question was, when you do your costing for the additional, when you put electricity and the water part, because that would need us to pay, isn't it? There's an additional cost to that, right?
Yes.
For the water, yeah. So when you put the cost together, are you able to just give us one amount, electricity, water, and everything else that you mentioned that we need us to get some prices? That was the question.
Okay. I think that can be done. Mr. Mzansi has taken note of that. I think what issue? Guardhouse security standardization.
Yeah, we'll do that at our design level in implementation. We'll then just do our in and out visitors access, pedestrian access, then we just share with the group. Eventually the Dabuka website will have every information on it. I've seen some of the owners association where you just go in, just click on plant will come out. You click on Guardhouse will come out. So once we're done with the design, we share with you, Mr. Sif, then you can share with us.
Thank you.
So, I may have missed the presentation about the costs, but I wanted to understand the basis on which the buyers, the purchasers are being charged these additional costs. Because in terms of the agreement, it says that any costs, extra charges, etc., will only pass to the purchasers on the date of transfer, but that hasn't done. Yet you are saying there's levies and some additional costs. So, if I could get just a short clarity on that.
Do you want to take that? Right. So the additional cost really like now, right? We now asking you to come and take possession of your stands, right? But we now need to secure the place. Currently, we've been taking over the cost of security, but we need to pass that on to the residents because that bill was never budgeted to be paid for a very long time.
So perhaps my question is, the failure of budget on your end, why is it being passed to the purchasers before we get title? Maybe that's the simple question. Are you asking us for an amendment of the agreement or?
Okay, so the question really is, okay, we can put it simply. Do we want to take position of the stands now or wait until sometime in April when we're going to get full compliance? So that's the question.
Oh, maybe I speak for myself, but when I purchased the stand, it was because I wanted the title deed, which is yet to be out. And from your agreement, the agreement, it had said that all other additional costs will only be charged to me on the date that I get title deed. I understand that compliance is coming out in April, and only after compliance will I get my title deed. So in the interim period, is it correct that that additional cost should be borne by me as a purchaser or by yourselves? And then I only pay additional costs after I get my title.
Thank you. Sorry, let me just try and respond. We were talking of security. We've put up a perimeter fence. The week that the perimeter fence was put up, 100 meters was stolen. We had to put security. It is not our problem that compliance is not out, but we all have to work together to ensure that by the time we all come to occupy in April, that perimeter fence is there. How do we do that? We are the owners of the stands. We come in and take possession. We come in and take control of what which is ours. So we need to take control of our thing. Otherwise, we are lights.
But it's also when we bought, right? In terms of the agreement, this compliance was supposed to be out in December 2023. It's now 2025. So although it's not your fault, it's also not our fault as purchasers. So where is the cost rightly borne is the question. Is my question as personally. And I don't know about that.
So far, the Dabuka project has been paying these costs. So it can only pay for so much. That's because fence, Dabuka but stays in there. I don't know if you get it. The fact that the compliance is not out of anyone's problem here, but it's the two local authorities that have been delaying the things, and that's why you heard that there was a meeting with at the ministry to try and expedite the compliance issue. And I think one of the reasons why this is a privately owned land. It is a piece of land where everyone is able to get title. It's unlike lands but I'm not title. And we are pushing for that. But we're saying no. We've got our lifestyle, we've got but we can only, as Dabuka, continue to pay for a period. As you see, I have my problems and the costs, I think when we talk about it, I don't think there will be much. But issue is like you rightfully said, how much, and then we move forward.
Thank you. Is it a question or
thank you. I'm supporting Angu medium and this is my lawyer because we are not here to hear. We do not watch like now. So I think if you would want assistance from us, would be maybe pushing towards compliance. Then after compliance, then to kuchida. Because if we start kuchito badrama level, I foresee chimwechi confusion the kumberi. Istambo badar, vamos we are papa ya shingo dar. Let's just have a straightforward way of doing things. But if we start to change goalposts now, you will see with our future, everything will be like that. Our teachers will teach my standards. At Satawapo, so development business, there is loss, there is what? Accept loss. And you transfer the loss outside the contract. I think if Papapo, it would not be fair. Push for the compliance. Let's get the compliance. We have that constitution by us, and it's binding. That's where we now start what? That. Thank you.
Yeah, so just a comment. Look, it's not a showstopper. When you look at the cost that is involved, it was probably coming to about $10 per person, just to try and kickstart our process. But it won't be a showstopper. It's something that can be sustained. It's not like that.
It's not that much.
Not be like that.
If I had read my business price by $10.
Sorry, maybe I missed it. When are we supposed to be starting to pay for the bill? Maybe I missed it. Is it now? Is it after April? And it's a two-part. So we are hopeful that the COC is coming out in April, but I don't have 92,000 lying around. I don't think, I can't talk to anyone else. So after that comes out, I have to sort out my title issues. Then I have to start building. Do you have a time frame in which I have to have finished construction, or when I can start construction after we get this COC?
I think I can answer that in two parts. When our levy is going to kickstart, this will be determined by the Homeowners Association. So for the time being, we're putting an interim committee. The interim committee will then communicate with you. These are the costs that we face. Per unit, per stand, this is what is supposed to be going forward. So I think the Homeowners Association will tell us when to kickstart the cost of, say, looking after the place. Then the second question was on what? Construction. Okay. Once you've got compliance certificates, you've got 2 years to put up a structure on stage. Structure that is your up to roof level. Finishes you can do them on your own place. But up to roof level, you're supposed to have done in first 2 years. Okay, let me do this now. Let me take the second set of questions, right? Then we answer them. Okay. So, Mr. Gwala, I'll start with you, Mrs. Timber. Yeah, Sylvia. So I'll start with
my question is what can be done for in case of change in circumstances? In case you have a Buhara, you want to cripple, you want to buffer, you can lose a source of income. What can be done?
Maybe just further refine your question. Is it during the course of paying your stand, or when you bought and you can't build the house in the first 2 years?
Pay safe up during the course and afterwards. After when you are staying.
Okay, that's fine. Yes. Okay, two good answers. Mrs. Timber?
Mine is, I think, a follow-up question to time frame of completion. I'm speaking on maybe on my behalf as a young mother. Some of the decisions that we're going to make on maybe competing, if some of us want to stay here, are going to be based on certain things like schools and maybe healthcare. And do they also have a time frame when they're supposed to be, functional? Because that's going to determine whether we move in maybe the next 2 years, or we take 5 years to build stuff like that.
Thank you. Check them out. Time frames for the commercial center to be up.
I'm also just gonna add on a question on the time frame. You mentioned structure. Is it a full structure, or it has to be something like a certain level of completion of the actual building, the actual house itself? That's my half question. And then my main question is, in terms of securing materials and stuff for building, for you, Brian, I wanted to ask, are they preferred suppliers you have in a database, or there are certain recommendations of such suppliers? If you could also help us with that.
Right, so I think these are the second set of the 3 questions. In terms of change of circumstances, I would encourage everyone to take insurance on their properties. We introduced insurance, I think, at the initial stages when people were buying these things, but I think a lot of people did not take it up. The idea of insurance then was to say, should you become incapacitated or you're no longer there, the insurance then pays off the balance of the stand, and then the beneficiaries will get title to the stand. But I think half of the buyers did get that, the others did not get it. But when you are then building the structure, also asked to take also health policies as well. They do help in that. I don't know, Mr. Atinda, are you able to answer?
Which one?
In terms of change of circumstances, say we were 2 years
Oh
to have
yes.
a structure.
Oh, at CBZ we do sell that insurance. The life insurance policy, I think you've properly answered it properly. That's the only way. If you fail to finish your payments, you need an insurance to kick in. Otherwise, you have to dispose to someone else. I think let's be fair.
Thank you. I think, have you been answered? Mr. Brown, have you been answered?
Yeah.
Okay. I would also want after this meeting to take the engineers to your stand. I think the issues. Yeah, they'll be able to answer them. Yeah. I'll take the third part of the questions. In terms of schools and healthcare centers, when are we likely to have the building center up and running? What I can tell you is the commercial center has been bought by pension funds. What they are waiting for right now is the compliance certificate. So once that is there, you will see up the superstructures coming out. So by the time that you occupy or finish maybe by 2 years, some part of the center will be working.
Sorry, can we get maybe the exact set? Yeah, like is it school, is it what? Because we also need to make decisions. We can't, personally, I can't drive across town at 5 a.m. to take a child to school. Those are decisions that we need to make. So if they are going to do a year to go to school, we have made how we are sure we know what we're getting into. Then for us to say I'm moving, but then you find out there's no school. You want to move, there's no healthcare, you can get an emergency, you can't drive to town, it's far away. So maybe if we
can also get that to say in the next year you're going to have a school, in 2 years you're going to have a hospital, and then we can also make those decisions. And also maybe if I can ask the committee to say, let's say we're going to have the compliance in April, which means we can start building, then we have 2 years. But after you have that information on what you're going to have, then maybe if it's going to take 3 years to have a school, maybe you can also adjust the time frame to say instead of 2 years, you can have 2.5 years. I'm speaking on my behalf, I don't know if it's a concept.
So basically, we are looking at the time frames. You want to add on to that question?
Adding on, because it's not necessarily that if it's 2 years to build, someone can take 3 months or 6 months to build. Yeah. Okay, I fully understand your concerns regarding timelines, but everything still goes back to the issue of compliance.
Yes.
Once there's compliance, that's when we can ask the pension funds how soon their contractors are going to be done with the project. Okay. At the same time, I need to bring your attention to the importance of why we are insisting on 2 years. We've seen developments whereby somebody will take for example, it took years for the Shawsha Hills to mature because of somebody who just buys the stand. They don't do anything. You've got the neighbor who's built a beautiful house, but another neighbor, the house is up to maybe window level. Sometimes it becomes
there's a table.
If people take too long, you won't like it. It may become unsafe even for you. So that the idea is to get the project running, to get people building, so that your house maintains value. The moment things take too long, it starts slowly becoming a white elephant. People start to wonder, how come Bomira say in terms of even value on your own property? So it's really important that people, like she says, ideally it takes about 3 months if you put your funds together. That's why our architect here even said, I'm ready to start working on your things. For those who want to plan this, I know one I say, but for those who can, it would actually help us better if we could finish the project sooner than even the 2 years, because it can be done.
Simon, I like to speak to the timeline. I'm saying we can just take into consideration certain things that require us to be able to do. Yeah, because honestly, if everything is there, there's no need for you to get into town. So if you also consider that, and then you tell us that by December, if there'll be schools, there'll be hospitals, there'll be shops and everything, we're giving you 2 years. That's okay. But for us to say we're giving you 2 years to build, but there's no school, there's no hospital, there's no shop, then I'm saying we also
okay, fine. I think
maybe Mr. Zaz, do you want to come in?
Let me take this one. I think what the lady wants is an exact date. And let's be fair to her. There is no exact date when it comes to the school and the hospital and the commercial center. So to try and link that to the construction on the residential, you also want to avoid a situation whereby after a year, people are saying, you said it's in 12 months. Where is it? So at least let people plan properly. The two are not linked. Because when it comes to the commercial center, the hospital and the school, those are separate businesses on their own. The reason why we are trying to compress everyone to build within, say, 2 years on the residential side is for the benefit of us, so that you don't get someone who's still building next door to where you are. So I think it's a decision that we have to make as a community to say, do we really want to be linking to say if the hospital is not there, therefore I'm not going to complete my building? I think that's a fair position.
You know what, I'm not trying to be, but you know what, when this stand is over, I think Palato is going to be a hospital, there'll be a school, what.
Yes.
I'm just saying, can you consider that into, because we also plan and say, you know what, if I move to Ruwa, you know, this is one, but now the team, when they're not seeing us, they don't know, and so they have to drive to town.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do justice to this question. We asked two managing directors of two pension funds that own properties there to come in and be part of this meeting. What I can do is to go back to them and give us timeline. But what they've said to us is the funds are there to build the structures, but they cannot build when there's no compliance. So they're waiting for compliance. But can I come back to you and give you timelines?
Sure.
Sure. And is it a question or a
To follow up to this on the 2-year issue, are these wishes of the promoter or is based on the local authority regulations saying in 2 years we should have built? If their wishes, maybe it should be an input of everyone. But if it is the road, this can be the local town planning, all those acts, what's the basis of that 2 years? Is it law or it's a wish?
Thank you. Thank you. We will pass that on to the Owners Association. They're going to meet, let them discuss on this particular issue and then bring it back.
So it's a wish. I want to answer, is it a wish or is it a law?
So it's like we have a constitution, of a draft constitution of what is there. That draft constitution is going to be passed on to the Owners Association to discuss what we want here as the residents. So please allow us to pass it there, and then when you guys have said, you have agreed, we can then, if you've got issues or if it's just one that wants 5 years or everybody wants 2 years, Tongo's out of no true and I need 2 years. So we'll pass it on to the Owners Association. Unfortunately, we cannot exhaust it here, but we'll let the owners of the stands discuss what it is that they want on their land.
Sorry.
Thank you. I've been asked before I come to you. Have you been answered?
The question was, I'm just trying to understand, she's saying it was a wish.
It's a proposal.
It's a proposal,
yes.
It's not law.
Yes.
So I'm answered.
I think I was listening into the questions and the answers from the other side. I think there's a level of stringiness and strictness when it comes to our terms.
Yes.
When we demand the same from this side, we are getting then, no, we have compliance issues. So let's wait. Let's not determine the 2 years before we have the compliance and we know when these are. And let's have a balance.
Yeah.
That is my wish. We are being too strict to us and very flexible to your side. Listen to us.
Thank you for that contribution. So we'll take the last.
We've done. We've done the last.
Brian, an engineer about supplies. Do you prevent supplies?
No, what we do is we'll give recommendations. The people who are going to build, say, show houses, typically will then check the quality and advise. But again, this is someone's property. We'll give recommendation and take it from there.
Well, we're here for you guys, you know? We're here for you guys.
So then you can do the show house for us?
If anybody wants credits, they can come and see me.
So we'll take the last round of questions, then we close the meeting. Okay. So a new question or
no? Mine is just a reminder that there was a question to do with this road. I don't think it was answered. That the road was not.
I'll leave that to the engineers to discuss. You want to answer it?
Yeah. The road belongs to Ruwa local board. It's not our road. And it was not in a condition that we upgrade it. However, during our designs, we did try to upgrade it, but at that time we didn't know that it doesn't belong to Goromons, because Goromons acted as if it was theirs, and they said don't do anything to it. You just concentrate on the part that you're supposed to do. So it's only later on that we learned that it belongs to Ruwa local board. So again, then it comes back to financing, because if we do it, it increases the cost on your side, right? So if the homeowners association comes into effect and they decide that we wanna upgrade it, then it can be done. But it basically boils down to finances.
Okay, is it in addition or a comment to the roads or a new question of here? So let's agree. We're taking a new set of questions. So I'm with the last three. I want the ones that have not spoken, just give them a chance. Okay, I'll take one question from you. Just a minute. Okay, then Faith, one question.
Thank you so much. So I see a lot of decisions arriving on the Homeowners Association in terms of management. So I wanted to understand what are the powers of the interim committee in making decisions on behalf of us homeowners until the constitution is approved, or are they just there as placeholders who can't make any decisions and do anything without our board?
Do you want to combine it? I said, then the last question.
I'm just going to ask on behalf of Faith. We appreciate progress made so far, and obviously you have mentioned costs that will be coming up in the build itself. Again, is to ask recommended finances where we can look at mortgage facilities. I don't know if we've got partners who have come on board to put across such facilities for us. We all want to build quality houses. So we read CBZ job. Sorry to put you on the spot, but when the time is right, we want to know how we will then qualify what is then required and be able to move forward.
So I'll ask you to remember to discuss on the constitution.
Thank you. I think we all know that for any project to kickstart, there has to be some people who initiate things. If we don't have people who initiate things will just lie idle until, donkeys grow horns. So the whole idea is to say, now we have this meeting, which is sort of an all stakeholders meeting. You say something, we listen to it, we engage the promoter, and come up with a working document for everyone. So the whole idea behind an interim committee is not necessarily that they are running with the thing. Is to put, the A's and B's and C's in place, so that when we then come back to the people, there is a starting point. So the engagements that is being talking about when levies will start to be paid, the 2-year period, and so on and so forth. It's just a matter of sharing notes, and a working document is put in place and come to you for final determination. So that's the simple answer that I can.
So, Engineer Shima, I would want you to run through again the issue of issue compliance and water issue potable water for the benefit.
Potable water, we said that we are getting connected to Ruwa local board, so we are going to get council water. Then secondly, we said we would like to, we have done a geophysical investigation and identified 11 bores on the site. We also said if you try to drill on your stand, you may not find water because Ruwa doesn't have groundwater. Ruwa inotozikana kuti haitorina ground zvakadaro, using language yemazuva ano. So what we want to do is to have a communal setup with those 11 bores that we have, so that we can augment the supplies in case the council inenge isina mvura. And when we talked about the issue here, my finances, that will be brought to the homeowners association, and we want to agree on my finances because that's not in the budget. Then, trend of compliance. We have said we have now met all the conditions. RDC after the intervention of the permanent secretary with local government. They are supposed to issue us with a compliance certificate in early April. Why early April? Because their full council is sitting on the 31st of March. Those akawamisa kuti vatipe compliance because it comes from a resolution in full council. I think that has been answered.
Is that a follow-up question of that question? Or is it a new question?
It's a new question. But when the tender connected to council, you don't know about the because you can't have another number. Then kuma bo kumataura achadhiro unananga achienda nemota yake pane chirodha mumatengi mako kana kuti tenda kunoita kiu kumabhoho iko yekanzo it's a nani start kutora kuti
hatisi kuita kiu kumabhoho maybe ndibotaura pane yecancel nyaya yecancel ine ma issues like for example pump yavo yekupamba mvura from Nora Dam to their treatment plant haisi kusenza. So panyaya yemapayments yaichitaurwa naMr. Muhlanga kuti kukonekta kwavanotiita isusu pane zvatiri kubhadhara. Those are some of the items dzatiri kuadressa. Tichatotenga isusu pampu yacho yekuendesa ikoko. Hatisi kutovapa mari, tiri kutotenga mapampu nemanhingirikiri generator. So we are addressing some of those issues for the council. Patrukuta connection iwaya. Then paku noita a queue kuma balls. No, we are going to design a system later zvireruke hatisi kuita saizvozvo. We will actually connect to the to your line so that you get the water from your house, not from the pole.
So that question is enough? Is it a new question or is it an addition?
Just a comment.
To what? To the same question?
To say,
I will allow you only once.
I hope this is the last meeting. We will meet until we get there. Some issues, people are hungry for information. also feel some issues will fall into place once things start happening. I will also would appeal to say, let's manage our time. As modern as we are, let's also modernize in management of time. We say meeting ends at 11:30. It was still 30 minutes. It's fine. But not 2 hours.
But on the prevent supplies, I'll ask the supplier to comment on that.
It's already answered. We're done. We're done.
So, the finance part, okay, yes.
All the financing is available. CBZ, you can offer mortgages. So we are going to post our details. You said we have got a website and a portal for CIF. We'll put the contact details and the various terms that are there. Come and let's talk at CBZ. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think we're done with the 3 sets of questions. I'll ask Mr. Mplanga then to give us a rundown to close the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So 15 minutes.
Yes, thank you. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how delighted I am to see you all. I've been very lonely. I'm telling you this, my wife and I, there's the 2 of us who live here. And you know, we've just been, the 2 of us, sold all these scans. We can't see the people, and we've got major problems. The emotional questions are rising. Why is the compliance not out, and so on and so forth. I wish you could sit with me on the computer and see the language and emotions from my heart when you speak to these authorities. You ask the question, for example, they say their council meeting is on the 31st of March. This was a meeting we had in January. And we said, can you not have a special meeting for this issue? They said it's not a special issue. It must wait until the 31st of March. Now, I can tell you that we get to the 31st of March, they meet or they don't meet because they're at a conference. It goes into April, right? They come back from the April meeting and say they want some more information, which must now wait for their June meeting. These are the frustrations that, unfortunately, we have had to endure. It's completely out of our control. Completely. Absolutely delighted that the interim committee here has the guts. They got us with the ministry as a housing association. They said, we want to see the minister, and we were absolutely amazed. We could see them, I think after about 7 days or so. That's how quickly we could. But the local authority, we have tried to see them, we can't see them. That's why I'm saying I'm absolutely delighted to see you all on our side, pushing for this project. Are we together there? Hopefully, when we finish this, we can have a group photo. We can have a group photo, because this is evidence of the stakeholders. Are we together there? So really, that's all I had to say, is to just thank you ever so much for taking time. We've overrun the time, big time, but you've taken the time to be here. Let's be progressive and make this thing work. Together, I think we can make it work. That's why I really want to thank you all for the commitment in supporting the vision. Let's now get the vision to work, and together we will get the things working. Thank you very much to you guys at CIF. Thanks very much, engineer, project manager. Thanks the architect. Thanks Tendai on the financing side. Mrs. Patonga, thank you ever so much. Our conveyancers are ready there. Nick. Thank Mrs. Mhlanga. I don't know where she's gone to. She's been my pillar of strength for the last 42 years. We'll be ready for that. And hopefully, when I die here, We'll park in your roads over there. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a bring and share. I hope some of you did bring some food or snacks, or we can share something. We do have some scones that Mantlang has made for you. Let's have a scone each, and hopefully we have a closing prayer for somebody. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You want to volunteer for a closing prayer? But before that, I would like to assure you that we're recording this. It's on Dabuka Village Facebook page. We're also taking minutes. We're going to share those minutes with you all. So I think once we are registering, so go to our emails, we'll update that. But by Monday latest, we should be able to send you minutes of this meeting. Thank you very much. Have a closing prayer. The other questions that are burning, I know we can chit chat. Let's do it. Chit chat. Any closing prayer? Thank you. What? Closing prayer. Thank you.
Shall we pray? Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for bringing us together as a family. So many questions, we do not know how to answer them. So many doors, we still need to get them opened. We believe the Holy Spirit, through the name of Jesus Christ, will assist us to open these doors. My Lord, you said, if we delight in your ways, you will make us sit amongst kings. We believe that these ministries, these local authorities, should be able to address our issues. People with babies, people with old age, they must live in this community in harmony. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray, amen.
Amen.